Hey guys, Will Secure here. Today I'm going to be telling you all my thoughts and speculations on Star Wars Episode 9. So let's get right into the video. First off, I want to say, I'm not really sure if they will release anything soon. Most likely they'll release something around Celebration time, because that's probably when they'll do a lot of their bigger reveals, like with The Mandalorian possibly. Probably Jedi Fallen Order, maybe Episode 9, I'm hoping. But that's probably when they'll reveal something, and I'll probably make another speculation video after that comes out. But right now, I just want to get into what I think about it, simply just as of what we know right now. So, as we all know, J.J. Abrams is directing it. He took over for Rian Johnson, and I'm very happy about this, because I'm not really a big fan of either Force Awakens or Last Jedi, but, I liked Force Awakens better, and JJ, I think, is just a better director than Rian was, so I'm pretty hyped for him to be directing this as opposed to Rian. There are going to be some spoilers from The Last Jedi, so let's get into that in 3, 2, 1, and so, as we all know, Snoke dies in The Last Jedi, and that really wasn't very cool in my opinion, because I believe that he's going to be back in some way, but the fact that he died in such a dumb fashion just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because he's supposed to be like Kylo's master. He's supposed to be the super powerful one, but he's treated like he's an absolute tool. And so I really don't like Snoke in that way, but I believe that he possibly could be back, because I think that if JJ sees the potential that, like, maybe when Snoke was predicting, like, what would his death, maybe he was actually thinking about that, and he was using that to turn Kylo more towards the dark side. We're also probably all expecting a Kylo and Rey face-off, and to be honest, I hope that happens, and I just hope they make it good, because they've just faced off, like, it seems so much, and even in The Force Awakens, Rey literally beats Kylo, so I've never taken Kylo seriously. That's the only reason he can't be one of my favorite characters, because he's treated like he's just like a kid. Like, he's not powerful, he's just kind of stupid. And I don't like that about him, because it ruins a lot of his potential that he could have. Also, a lot of people are expecting Kylo to turn good in the end. And me personally, I hope that does not happen. I do not want Kylo to be redeemed. I want him to die a villain, because I don't like Kylo. I do not like Kylo. I think he's a bad villain. He's just a bad character overall, and I don't want him to turn good. That just so much is just copying the original trilogy, and I wish they could shy away from that just a bit, instead of, like, pretty much remaking it just completely word for word. So I really hope Kylo doesn't redeem himself. I believe he probably will. If he does, I hope it's in, like, a heroic way in which he perishes, but, like, he brings down the First Order with him. And that's something I'm down for. I kind of hope that he just is a villain. Like, that's how he goes down. He goes down as a villain. That's something that I'd prefer as opposed to him being redeemed. Because, the redemptive bad guy who gets redeemed at the end, and I don't know, it seems too typical to me, and so therefore, I'm not really into that kind of story. Another thing I want to see is some more character development for Rey. Now, a lot of people would say that Rey has been a very much developed character. What I mean by character development is, although I think it's probably too late, where she's learning how to use her powers, because it seemed like a lot of things were just handed to her, like that dub against Kylo, and in And it just seems to me like she didn't really have to earn the things that, like Luke, he had to train. He got his butt handed to him by Vader. And I like Rey as a character. I really like Rey. I just wish that she'd really have to earn everything that she gets as opposed to, just having it right off the bat. I just prefer that in the character development department. Also, a lot of people speculate, and I think it might be confirmed now, but that Luke will have a role in this movie. And for me, I mean, that's pretty cool, I think. I'm not sure quite how I feel about it. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I wish they hadn't killed him. I think it ruined a lot of potential that this new Luke figure could have of, like, redeeming himself because he was just a hermit. He didn't want anything to do with the fight for good. And I wish they had really had a moment in Episode 9 where he would have been able to go back to his young days where he was just always the optimist. And I think that would have been cool, but since he did die in The Last Jedi, I'm not sure what role he will have except being like a Force ghost like Obi-Wan, which also seems a bit like just remodeling the original trilogy, which, as I've said before, I'm not really a fan of. I wish they just create new stuff. Another character I have a lot of expectations from is Finn. Now, when Finn was first introduced to The Force Awakens, I thought he was a pretty cool character. The fact that he was always trying to, he was trying to get away from the First Order and do what's right, and at the end he realized what the right thing was to do. But then in The Last Jedi, they kind of just reverted back to he's just trying to get away from the things. And I just wish that they would have done better with him as a character, because I think he had so much potential as a character, but I don't think they really pursued that as well as they should have. Also, when Finn was about to, fly his ship into the battering ram cannon, that was the only moment in this sequel trilogy where my heart kind of went to my throat, and I'm like, wow, this could be the end of Finn, and this would actually be a pretty epic end, in my opinion. I know a lot of people think differently, but I just think that it would have been a good way to finish off his story arc. I just wish they would have done better with him. I think they have potential to in Episode 9, but I don't know, they kind of ruined it in Episode 8, in which he just went back to his old ways right in the beginning, then changed to his heroic ways, so it was just a remodel of Episode 7, and so that wasn't really something that I liked that much. Also, I'm not sure if it's been confirmed yet if Leia will be done by CGI, if they will recast her. I think they were going to recast her. I personally would kind of like it if it was CGI, because I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but, I don't really want to see another actor playing the role of Carrie Fisher. And I don't know, to me, it's like, I think I just would have rather had a CGI rendering. But the thing is, for me, I don't want her in too many scenes. I want her in only extremely necessary ones, because, I don't know, it just doesn't really sit right with me that I honestly think she should have died in The Last Jedi. I know it would have been the obvious thing to do, because sadly, as we all know, Carrie Fisher passed away. But I just kind of wish that Princess Leia had died in The Last Jedi, just so we could have a good ending, because I wish she would have died as opposed to Luke, because, as I said before, and I just really think that would have been the better move to do, even though it would have been the obvious move to do. I really think that it would have been the better one. And this movie has been marketed as the end of the Skywalker saga, or saga, I don't really. And I think that's pretty cool. I'm excited for them to get on to new things, new ideas. But on the other hand, I just wish they would have done a better job with it. Some of the things that they did just didn't seem right in my opinion. Like the way they killed off Han Solo, the way they killed off Luke. You know, those are my beloved characters from childhood. And I'm sure they are for a lot of other people. Like, my best characters were Luke, Han, Obi-Wan, and Yoda. And 2 of them died in this new trilogy. And it wasn't even like a good heroic death. So that just didn't really sit right with me, the way that they're going to end this trilogy. I just hope they do a good job of making episode 9 just really great. So that about rounds up the video. I'd really appreciate a like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments, discussions, ideas. I'd really appreciate some video ideas because my list is growing shorter and shorter. So I'd really appreciate if you comment down below a video idea for me. Keep it positive and peace out, guys.